Hate to break it to you, but Arlo was right. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is not worth $80, but not for these stupid ass reasons that he was saying. He was saying the game's not worth it because it's called Fire Emblem, and that Fire Emblem, that's not going to be able to be worth $80. Just saying it because it's an anime game, it's not going to be worth $80. But I can tell you, as a Final fan since I was a little kid, these games have some pretty impressive stories. Their movie quality put the Indiana Jones composer on this shit, and that's a banger. That's a 10 out of 10 film. Rotten Tomatoes score 91 at least. Fire Emblem has the potential to be great. So it could be worth $80. But is it going to be worth $80? Now that's a whole different question, because Fortune's Weave, it worries me, it disturbs me. Some things that I have noticed that I've been kind of silent the past month or so about the game, but I know y'all caught those sun and moon animations when they're talking to Ultund and they don't turn around on a pivot foot, they spin on a fucking axis 180 degrees and then start running in the opposite direction. That, in a full sprint, that was horrifying. That was a little bit horrifying, and I know some people that have been saying that the game itself doesn't look that good graphics wise. I personally think it has pretty solid resolution. You know, that's something, but nothing crazy. I think the presentation of this game is a little bit lacking. Like if I compare something like, say, Persona 5 or The World Ends With You, like games that have these like very vivid styles, and I don't mean just, you know, thick outlines, lots of pop culture music, but just like a general idea of vision that the game is trying to achieve. I don't really see that at play with the UI, the settings. Even the live 2D portraits are a kind of bizarre choice to me, so it goes into this overall essence of the game has pretty mediocre presentation, and to be honest, I'm expecting more out of an $80 video game. You're telling me this is the premium creme de la crop? Oh no, that's a fucking word. But you're telling me this is the creme de la crop, and we can't get good presentation, cohesive art direction that makes sense. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. But I know that you guys saw that they're having a direct. Literally today. They're having a direct today. And I definitely want to put it to the test. I'm going to be shooting my reaction to it. If this game, if Nintendo can convince me that this game is worth $80 in 20 minutes. I want to see if they can convince me that this game is not them trying to squeeze us dry because they know that people will buy it anyway. I mean, this has just been an overall trend with Nintendo with their lack of quality control and presentation. Scarby was terrible. Pocopia, awful. And people still buy it at full price, which is insane. Pocopia looks like Dragon Quest Builders, which came out in 2019. Dragon Quest Builders, you can buy that shit on Steam for $30. But Pocopia, which looks the exact same, stole the same updates as Dragon Quest Builders 2, is $70. Not physical. That is insane. That's crazy price for that game. Scarvy came out the box completely unplayable, essentially. So I really feel like Nintendo is getting this era of being greedy, having lack of good products, and I think that is going into Fire Emblem. I think that's, of course, leaking into Fire Emblem as well. They want you to pay the premium price, but give you less stuff, and I think the game could have a lot of content, but we'll have to see. Again, we just don't have that much information in this game. They're showing a lot of stuff with characters, they're showing a lot of stuff with, they're showing a lot of personal skills, but I don't know. I find it hard to just say it's worth 80 because the game has 60 characters. I do find it difficult pill to swallow. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know what's just behind the price tag. It seems we have 4 different routes, maybe, but I haven't seen any of the story. Is the story gonna be good? If you have a lot of content, but the story is shit, that's just 100 line, and I didn't really like 100 line that much. I like 100 line, like 100 line is funny, but is it, you know, would it be worth $80? No, because the writing is bad, and that's what part of what you're doing when you're playing an RPG. You want to experience that story. I have not seen any sign that the story is going to be of good quality. They have completely left that up to our imaginations. I do see a lot of people online, they are taking the smallest thing and just running with it, and I refuse to do that. For instance, one of my buddies, he was saying that maybe you'll be able to catch mounts in the wild, and that will limit how many units you can have in a class. And that sounds like an amazing idea. That would be a perfect way to nerf wyvern lords if you could only have one wyvern in the entire game. That would be amazing. But let's be honest, I don't even know if IS is trying to make a good video game this time. I don't even know if they're trying to make a good video game. So I can't just, that makes me like, wow, that's like, it'd be really cool. But is that actually going to happen? There's no evidence that's going to happen. I haven't seen anything that's going to convince me this is worth $80. You guys let me know in the comments, like, what would make a game worth $80 to you? For me, it has to be a 10 out of 10, bang up presentation, and we already have some pretty weird presentation. To me, I saw a little Disher conversation, a little typo in it. People say it's not a typo, but it's a really bad pun that could be misinterpreted as a typo. The voice actor did not even say the line as it's written.
I sense strength.
It was super bad. It's like, I think when it comes to the power of our dollar, the power of our purchasing power, you have to be cognizant of what you're paying for and be like, wow, I'm paying premium price for something and there's lazy animations. Imagine seeing Resident Evil Requiem have this in it. Imagine a character spin around on a fucking axis 180 degrees without like actually going on their pivot foot and turning. Imagine that. You would never fucking see that in any other game besides a Nintendo game. I swear. I love Nintendo. I've been a Nintendo person since I was a little kid. It's the only console I've ever had, but I have to be honest, this is fucking dumb. So again, I don't really like Arlo. Arlo, he be tweaking a little bit. He was tweaking with the Metroid stuff. He's a tweaker. So he was like wrong, but he was low-key right. This shit is not worth $80, but you can't just say that coming from the outside and you don't know anything about this series, any of the bangers they put up before. They made FE4, they made FE5, they made FE9, FE10. They made all those games. They can't make a game worth $80, but is this the game? Who knows? We're gonna find out literally today in about like probably 4 hours or so from when this video goes up. So hopefully I didn't rage bait you guys too hard. If you want to join my Discord server or join the stream, you gotta subscribe to me, turn on the bell so you know when it starts, or just, you know, drop by, say something, I'd appreciate it. I forgot my outro. I literally haven't done this in forever. So yeah, see you guys next time.